So what I'm doing here, I'm bringing up Ham Radio Deluxe. Now on this computer, unfortunately, I don't have a radio connected to it. This is a computer that I use for our support team and everything. But I can give you a quick rundown on what our software does. What you're looking at here, you're looking at the rig control screen. Now this is a generic screen for all radios. However, for the radios themselves, all the controls and buttons are dependent on what's available in the radio. Now, our rig control handles the majority of the on-air controls of your radio, and we support roughly 100 and I think it's about 125, 130 radio models at present time, and we're adding new ones as we go along.
Hey, Tim, can you maximize that on your screen, please?
Sure. How's that?
Thank you.
Okay.
Much better.
Anyway, some of the features of our rig control, as I say, we support many different radios. And to give you an idea here, if you can see this, right now I'm using one of the demo radios that's built into Hrd. But you can see here we support Alinco, DC Company, Elecraft, ICOM, Flex, Kenwood, and all the major 10-Tech, Yaesu. And then, of course, we have our demo radios, which are generally used just for configuring your system and everything to make sure all the software is working. Some of the other features are like our software, our SWL database, software listener database down here. The ones we have available right at the moment are somewhat outdated, but they are still pretty much available if you want to listen to, if you're a shortwave listener. A lot of folks ask about memories because our system will not access the memories of most radios because the memory channels in the radios are not normally accessible through the CAT command port system. So what we have our favorites here. And what are, let me pin this in here. Come on, there. We have our favorites here, and what you can do, you set up your bands, and then on each band, say on 20 meters as an example, you set up your favorite frequencies, and then, like for your nets and things like that, and then to select it, like we want to go here to 14,200 megahertz, double click on it, the radio automatically selects the 14.2 and sets you in your upper or lower sideband, whatever is needed for the frequency. But the nice thing about these memories, as opposed to using the ones that's in your radio, is the fact the only limitation here is the size of your hard drive. So you could feasibly put thousands of favorites or channels in this. Moving along, we've got our Hrd Logbook. To give you an example of our logbook, I've got one up here, and as you can see, I've worked some FT4 contacts. There's FT8. I've got quite a few of the contacts there. And let's see, can I slide this panel off here? Let me see. Oh, there we go. And a lot of the features in the our logbook is the fact we have Callsign Look Up. You can configure tools, file, configure Callsign Look Up. Now, as an example, these ones on the left are the ones I have configured for my lookup purposes. And I use the QRZ.com subscription. because I feel that's one that's most up to date and the most recently up to date. Now over here on this side are other options that you could use. You've got the ham QTH, which is free. That is comparable to the QRZ.com, but that's a free lookup option. The QRZ-CQ, that is a subscription option now. They just changed that within probably the past 6 or 7 months to a paid subscription. This call info, that's a free subscription or free to use, but that only handles domestic calls here within the United States. Whereas like your ham QTH, QRZ.com subscription handles worldwide calls. What's nice about that, when you're working, let's say from here, and you want to, let's say I'm working a call sign here, the N8XEN, I enter that into my, click the lookup, and as you can see, it does the lookup for me. It fills in all the information in my add log entry window, including down here, we have several windows that you can click on. This shows the logbook, whether you've worked it before. You'll have a listing down here. If I've worked N8XEN before, I would have his listings down here on the lower part of the screen. In the location area, let's say as an example, I've QSL'd him via EQSL or LOTW, and I haven't received a response from him. So I've got his address here, all convenient. And again, this information depends on whether they have it listed in that lookup option that you're using. But you've got the address here. You can shoot him a postcard, send him a paper QSL card or whatever. It gives you all the information here. When you're finished with the with your QSO, you just click the add button, and I'll show you here. Let me get back to the top of the menu. As you can see, we've added N8XEN to our logbook. So you've got your record of your QSO. It was done in upper sideband on 20 meters, and we had 5.9 and 5.9 sent and received signal strings. So you've got all that information in your logbook. Now to upload information to LOTW, it's quite simple. You highlight the QSOs that you want to upload, click the upload button, and if this was totally configured here, all you would have to do is click the upload button down here. So 2 mouse clicks would upload your contacts to the LOTW website. We also upload to EQSL, Club Log, HRDlog.net. Now those are online logbooks so that you can show them to your friends, and your friends can log into those sites and take a look at your logbook and see what you've worked, what you haven't worked, and that sort of thing. Here on the bottom, this is our DX cluster. The DX cluster is second to none. Now what we have approximately 400 different nodes that you can connect to worldwide. But we recommend using this WA9PIE node. The reason we recommend that is because the owner of that, the man who operates that, is one of the owners of Ham Radio Deluxe. He keeps all of his software 100% up to date. His country lists are all up to date. So the data that you get from his node is all up to date. This gives you an example of what you're going to see when you sign into the DX cluster. Now this C, B, M, S, L, and E. What those are is indicates country, band, mode, station, and this is LOTW, whether they're a member of LOTW or a member of EQSL. So when you click on a spot and you're looking for something, you can see when you've worked this country on this band, but you've never worked in this same mode that he's operating in right now. Down here, farther, here's one where we've worked station, or we've worked the country, band. We've worked on this band in this mode, and he's a member of LOTW and EQSL. So you know right away, since he's a member of LOTW, if you're chasing a call sign, or if you're chasing a country, or need that contact to complete an award that you're looking for, you know automatically he's going to be an award contact because he is a member of LOTW. We also connect directly to our rotor. Let me bring up our rotor program. I'll give you a quick demonstration of that. Here's our rotor program. And on this, again, I'm connected to a simulated rotor. But you can see, I can click on the map here in any location, and you can see on the indicator over here, it's turning my rotor to wherever I point. Or you can use it from the logbook. Let me get back to the logbook here. Okay, now I was demonstrating our rotor, and as you can see, we've got it here in our logbook. I'll bring up the rotor screen in just a minute. But let's say, as an example, I'm going to bring this up in the edit window. Whoops. But as an example, you've added this contact. You do your lookup. You find he's in Europe and everything, and you want to swing your rotor over. On the add log entry window here in the logging screen, you just click rotor, and you notice the rotor swings right on, puts me right on over towards the Great Britain or England, where he happens to be from. So everything is totally integrated in the entire suite. So you can see our logbook's integrated with the rig control. Our logbook is also integrated with rotor control. So now another feature of our software is our satellite tracking. So if you're into the satellites and you're interested in communicating via the satellites, here what we're looking at AAU CubeSat, and we're tracking in here. And you notice this circle around it, it shows the footprint of that satellite. So as an example, now you can see on the map over here in the United States, this little house, that's where I'm located. There's no possible way that I could communicate with this satellite at this point. But let's say his next pass brings him up and brings him so that my home is inside of this footprint. Then I've got a good chance of being able to communicate via that satellite, which happens to be a repeater. Now what we're showing here, we're showing different tracks. 30-minute track. If I change this to a 45-minute track, and it's not showing it, but let me go something higher. Let's go 2 hours. There we go. Now you can see the track he's going to make within the next 2 hours. So he's going up like this. Now he'll come back over, then he'll come down on this other track where he'll come back up over and then back up on this side. But you can set this and you can adjust how often you want to track him. So we usually track for about 30 minutes. And so whenever this sign with this circle gets within your area, let's see if we can find another satellite here. Let's take a look at the International Space Station. Okay, here comes the International Space Station. And it looks like his track, let me see if I can extend this out. It appears the way he's heading that he's going to be, I'm going to be within his footprint here before too long. So as you can see, whenever I become within this circle, his footprint, when he comes over the horizon, I'll be able to set him, and if they're operating, you'd be able to possibly contact the International Space Station and have a QSO with them. So let's see, we've gotten the rig control, we've gotten the satellite tracking, rotor control, and the folks' favorite part of all, let me bring up our Digital Master 780. This is Digital Master is our digital portion of the software. Let me minimize this. What do we got here? Minimize. And okay, this is our DM780. Again, unfortunately, I'm not connected to a radio, so we're not going to be able to see any live signals. But to give you an idea, here are the modes that we covered. CW, RIDI, various flavors of it, BPSK 31, 63, 125, QPSK, which can be used on upper or lower sideband, Contestia, quite a few different versions of that. Hellschreiber, which is an interesting Feldhell. These are interesting modes to work. MFSK and so on, but you've got quite a few programs or quite a few digital modes that you can work here. We connect directly with the radio, and of course this isn't configured, but once this is configured, it connects with your radio through your audio sound card, whether you're using an external sound card like a Sigma-Link USB, or many of today's modern radios have a sound card built into them. And you can access their audio codec in the same way as you do here. And now one of the hottest things today, folks really enjoy doing the FT8, FT4, JT65, and JT9. Well, HRD and our system here, we can connect directly with the, let me show you, let's minimize everything that we've got here for now. And let's see, where is my WSJ? Oh, I don't even have WSJTX on this computer yet. Yeah, I do. There we go. So those that are interested in using the WSJTX software, we can connect directly to the WSJTX. So if we were using this, you're the radio, you would come down and select There we go. Select Ham Radio Deluxe as the radio, and you have it configured here for you. If it's connected to a radio, then you can test the cat control. You can also test the PTT, which isn't configured on here because we're not connected to a radio. But anyway, then you set your audio path, which normally would be your USB audio codecs. And USB audio codec 3. And then you come into reporting. Come down here. Select this last option. It's UDP server and the proper ports. And that allows you to log directly to the HRD logbook. So any contacts you have in here, once it's configured in QSO forwarding, configure this 2333 my logbook. Okay, now if all goes well, I can do a fake QSO from here. Then when I decide to log it, no. No, I can't do it right now. But anyway, once it's configured up there, oh, here we go, up here. Let's go N, HXEN. Put our signal reports in. Let's go. And log it. And as you can see, it logs right into our logbook. JT is a JT9, which is the mode we had it set up to working. So you can see how your WSJT can log directly into the HRD software. And I'm getting feedback through my headset here, so I don't know what's going on now. Okay, that's about it for the software. It gives you a rough idea on how the software works. Now, the nice thing about it, when you purchase a software package from us, your initial purchase runs $99.95. What that gives you the entire software package. It gives you 1 year of technical support. That's from the date of purchase and 1 year thereafter. So if at any time during that year you have any problems, you have any questions, or anything about the software, you can contact HRD support directly. You'll be in touch with one of our technicians who can help you along the way there, whether it's a matter of setting it up, configuring the system, no matter what it is, our tech team is here to help you.
So, Brian, my question is, I use Ham Radio Deluxe remotely, either via remote desktop or server client. And my biggest challenge is bringing over the audio back and forth from a remote session. Do you have a recommended third-party software for the audio?
We recommend two different audio programs. One, of course, is Skype. That's what the majority of the folks use. If you're a little bit more technically inclined, there's a program called REMAUD. That's REMAUD, all one word. And it was developed by, I believe, it's a German website that it's on. So if you do a Google search for REMAUD, R-E-M-A-U-D, it will take you to his site. And he provides a server program that you run on your host machine. The REMAUD program will provides it's a little host or a little remote, and it's a server program. It's a client and a server. You run the server on the host machine. You run the client program on the laptop. And that's very good for connecting your audio.
Anybody else with a question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay, well, very good. Thanks a lot, Tim. It's been very informative. And why don't you repeat once more again about the 20% deal?
What was that?
Would you repeat once more about the 20% deal, how we can get that?
To get the discount, just open up a support ticket from your trial version. Run the trial version, open up a support ticket, and make it to my attention. Mention that you were in this meeting tonight, that I gave the presentation to your group, and I will see to it that you get a 20% discount on purchasing of the full version.
If they're ordering by credit card on the website, does that automatically apply then when they run the invoice, or how does that work?
They will get a coupon code. I will provide them with a coupon code, and they just input that coupon code when they make their purchase, and that will automatically give them their 20% discount.
And then the second you're on license fee, is that a license fee or just a support fee?
That's just for the software maintenance and support. And what that is, that's support through our technical support staff. And it also includes any new features that we've added in the time that your software maintenance and support has expired. Now, the nice thing about this program is, let's say, as an example, you're running one version of HRD and you've been running it for quite some time. You haven't had any problems. You haven't needed the support. So you opt out of the software maintenance and support at the end of the year. Let's say a couple years down the road, we add something to the program that you absolutely can't live without. You have to have it. Okay? Instead of having to buy the program or all over again, a couple years down the road, you just sign up again for the software maintenance and support for 1/2 of the retail price, and you will get all the new features that was added up to date and that new feature that you're looking for once you have that software maintenance and support agreement in place. So it's not something that you absolutely have to do, and it is not a mandatory renewal.
Is this a Windows-only app, or will it work on Linux or the Mac?
Okay, Ham Radio Deluxe is a Windows program. However, we have a lot of people who are running it on Apple products using Parallels or VMware or one of the other. Let's see, I think there's another one, Boot Camp for Mac. I'm not sure about Wine. I haven't had any people at all who have tried it on Wine, so I have no idea if it'll run on that. That would be something you could get that free trial and try it on Wine and see if it would work. And we're more than happy to help you with it, get it set up if at all possible. But that's no problem at all, Scott. It was a pleasure doing the remote for you. And maybe next time we can get together a little bit more and get the audio working out a little bit better. But it isn't, as it turned out, it did turn out real good. So thank you for inviting me. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you there. Open up the free trials. And like I say, you give me a direct shout there when you get it set up. And when you're ready to purchase, I will provide you with a code for 20% discount. So thank you very much, and you folks have 73s to you from Kilo Bravo 3. No problems here.